What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, it gets more and more hilarious. It's getting more and more hilarious how the tables have turned completely. They always say, be careful who you disrespect on your way up, because you never know when you might need them on your way back down, as they are now going up. And now we saw Jermell Charlo. We seen Jermell Charlo say it would be an honor to get in the ring and share the ring with Terence Crawford after all Terence Crawford's accomplishments, and that he would be elated and excited if His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and Terence Crawford sent him an offer. Now, Keith Thurman, who stated that Terence Crawford brought nothing to the table, Terence Crawford was too small, Terence Crawford needed to win a belt. When Terence Crawford beat Jeff Horn at welterweight, he was already the undisputed junior welterweight champion. He comes up to 147. That in itself should be respected. No. Keith Thurman says Terence Crawford is still too small. He got to prove himself. He got to win a belt. Terence Crawford fights and beats Jeff Horn. Keep in mind, it was supposed to be Manny Pacquiao, but Manny Pacquiao went to Australia and was robbed, let's be real, by Jeff Horn. And Terence Crawford ended up having to fight Jeff Horn, right? And Terence Crawford stops Jeff Horn. He beats Jeff Horn. Stops Jeff Horn, knocks him out. Becomes a WBO champion. Keith Thurman says, yeah, he won the belt, but I don't acknowledge and recognize the WBO as a real title because it was the last belt to be recognized as a major sanction. And I'm already undisputed. And then when Errol Spence picked up the belts and was the unified 3-belt champion, Keith Thurman said about a Terence Crawford fight, well, technically Errol Spence is undisputed because the WBO belt don't count. This is what Keith Thurman said. So Terence Crawford pushed forward. Now Terence Crawford, keep in mind, gave Keith Thurman nothing but praise when he was coming to 147. He said, remember when Terence Crawford was on the show with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and they said, the biggest fight we think is going to be you and Errol Spence. That's the big fight. And Terence Crawford said, nah, that's the biggest fight in your eyes. But the best welterweight in the world is Keith Thurman. Terence Crawford gave Keith Thurman nothing but credit, nothing but respect and acknowledgement of his greatness. And Keith Thurman just spat on it. Now Terence Crawford is no doubt the face of the sport of boxing. Terence Crawford is now no doubt the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. Terence Crawford is no doubt a first ballot Hall of Famer once he decides to retire. Terence Crawford is no doubt, right, became the people's champ as well now. Okay? And now, because Terence Crawford just beat Canelo Alvarez, he stopped Errol Spence in dramatic fashion. He outclassed Saul Canelo Alvarez in a fashion that nobody expected him to do, right? He just defied the odds, right? He did everything everybody said he couldn't do. And now he has, on top of that, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh backing him with the bag. And now Keith Thurman is saying he's looking to fight and beat Sebastian Fundora. They were supposed to fight this Saturday coming up, the 25th. But that didn't happen because Sebastian Fundora got injured, right? And now the fight is postponed to January, and reportedly going to be on the undercard of Manny Pacquiao. And now Keith Thurman is talking about when he finally gets Sebastian Fundora in the ring and he could beat Sebastian Fundora, he's going to entice Terence Crawford now to come back down to 154 and fight for the unified belts, the WBC belt that he beat Sebastian Fundora with. And it's a big fight. No, it's not. Yeah, you beat Sebastian Fundora, that'll be pretty impressive. You're 36 years old. He's 6'6" with 80-inch arm reach. You 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach, right? He's the towering Inferno southpaw. So yeah, you beat Sebastian Fundora, since it's impressive. That's not enough to entice Terence Crawford to come back down to 54. He's already stated, as well as his well-renowned 2-time trainer of the year, this year will be 3-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, said they're not going no lower than 160. Terence Crawford already expressed he has no interest to go back down to 54. Right? Now, he hinted at, you never know, he leave the door open. But he's made it clear after going up to 168 and beating Canelo, he feel good. He feel comfortable. He ain't trying to go back down to 54. Keith Thurman talking about he come back down to get this belt at 154. For what? I keep saying this to you guys. What does it do for, how does it benefit Terence Crawford to go to 54 and fight Keith Thurman for the WBC belt in the weight class he's already a champion in? He's already like a, 17-time world champion or something ridiculous of that magnitude? So how does that benefit him? It doesn't at all. Now Keith Thurman is saying and begging for Terence Crawford to come back down to 54 to give him a big fight. That's a big fight for who? It's a big fight for you. It's not a big fight for Terence Crawford at any stretch of the imagination. It does nothing for him. Yeah, Keith Thurman is a name. Keith Thurman is a decorated fighter, and he beat Sebastian Fundora, that make him a 2-division champion. Terence Crawford is better suited fighting Janibek. Because if Janibek beats Lara December 6th, he'll be the unified 3-belt, unified middleweight champion. Terence Crawford never fought at 160. He's not a middleweight champion. That's an accomplishment he wants to have, that he should have or may want to have on his mantle. So I went from 40, 47, 54, 60, and 68. 5-division champion. And if Janibek fights and beats Lara, and let's say he fights and beats Carlos Adames, and he's undisputed and Terence Crawford beats him, that makes Terence Crawford a 6th-division champion. That makes Terence Crawford a undisputed 4-division champion. That's a bigger of accomplishment historically than fighting and beating Keith Thurman back at 154. He's already, without being Keith Thurman, that would say something if he was young. He's 38. If he was younger and you saying that he's trying to build up his resume for when he retire, he don't need that no more. He's so accomplished. He's 5-division champion, 3-division undisputed champion. He don't need the names. Now he's just padding the stats. Make it make sense. Amazing. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.